Hey, what's up guys? Steve with Next Gen Baseball. Today I'm gonna go over with you some tips and tricks to guarantee you increase your throwing velocity and help increase your accuracy. So let's jump right into that first tip right now. All right, first tip that I'm gonna give you is just our basic grip on how to hold the baseball. First, what we're gonna try and do is just hold our classic four-seam grip. In case you're not familiar with what that is if you look at the horseshoe of the baseball that it creates right here, we're just gonna lay our fingers right over the top of those seams with our fingertips right on top of the seams. We wanna try and avoid being off the skin of the baseball just because we don't get a lot of grip that way. If we put our fingertips right on those seams, we can actually spin that ball a lot faster. What this is also gonna do, it's gonna help the ball carry on a straighter line for a longer period of time, and it's gonna help it travel a little bit straighter. And also, when we're gripping this thing, we wanna try and avoid choking the baseball and holding it deep in our hand. We wanna kinda hold a nice loose grip. This is gonna give us more wrist flexibility for us to really get that whip action right at the end. And so that's gonna be my first tip. And let's jump in that second tip right now. All right, and for my next tip, one basic concept that you need to be familiar with when trying to increase your throwing velocity is understanding that this is not an arm motion. This is a full body motion, and we want to try to utilize the big muscles in our body to help drive the smaller muscles. The big muscles are going to reside in my legs, followed by my core, and the small ones are going to be in my arm. If I try to throw with my arm all day, I'm going to have a lot of arm injuries, get a lot of arm pain. I can't throw nearly as hard, and my accuracy is going to be off. So we really want to try to utilize our lower half and use our body to our advantage. With that being said, a lot of common mistakes that younger players make is when they're playing long toss or they're trying to make a long throw, they don't move their weight into their throw. They may take one step, or they may take a shuffle, throw, and fall backwards. So now all their momentum is lost and is actually moving in the opposite direction in which it needs to go. So what we want to try to do instead is get our body to move quickly towards our target, like so. If we can do that, that momentum that we create will then transfer. And so that's going to be my next tip for you, and probably the biggest tip I will give you in this video. All right, my next tip when it comes to generating throwing velocity and accuracy is to be able to get your hips to rotate and work for you. That is gonna reside in your footwork. And how you get hip rotation is pretty simple. Just take your back foot, move it behind your front foot. This creates that coil with your hips. So right before release, you can open your hips up, and then that will pull your arm through and give you that extra little jolt that you need in your throws to boost that velocity. And it also helps a lot with your accuracy too. A common flaw that players make is they get their footwork wrong, where guys take their back foot and they move it in front of their front foot too early, and then their hips open up, and then they have to throw with just their arm. This takes so much velocity off your throws and decreases your accuracy as well. Make sure you get those hips coiled, move those feet the right way, and that will help you with your throws a lot. All right, guys, well, that just about does it for my top 3 tips and what I can do to help you get more velocity and help you get more accuracy behind your throws. There's obviously a lot more to throwing than what I just showed, but those are the 3 biggest things you can do today that I guarantee will increase your throwing velocity. Just remember, consistency is key. If you are not consistent with your practice and really drilling out these techniques, it's going to be very difficult and pretty impossible to increase your throwing velocity. So you do need to practice these consistently. That is so important. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe if you want to get more, if you want to get notified for every time I release a new video, and I will catch you in the next video.